Hey guys, this is Ruben, back with another pedal demo. Today we're checking out the ThorpyFX Warthog, a quite interesting overdrive distortion type pedal from Adrian in England. Now, before we get into some more playing, let me just quickly go over the controls here. We have a volume knob and a tone knob that would that kind of do what you would expect them to do, except for the tone knob that behaves opposite as to at least what I'm used on an overdrive pedal. If you turn it all the way counterclockwise, it's the brightest position, and all the way clockwise is the darkest position. And that's my perspective here. What's special about this one is it has two gain knobs, two kind of different gain knobs. At least that's how it feels to me. I don't know how it is technically within the circuit, but we have a gain knob, like a knob labeled gain, and a knob labeled caliber, and these kind of seem to be like two different sounding clipping stages that you can kind of blend together for one sound. I'm gonna just quickly show you. This is with both gains completely down. Now I'm bringing up the knob labeled gain. For a familiar kind of mid-rangey overdrive sound, we can crank it up a bit higher. But the timbre of the sound is very much a mid-rangey one, not with a crazy mid-hum, but it focuses more around those frequencies and stays fairly smooth in its basic character. Now, opposed to that, the caliber control, it makes a little swooshing noise as we turn it. That's completely normal. That's fine. It's supposed to do that. And now this knob introduces more of a gnarly texture to the sound. It's got a slightly fuzzy thing about it. It doesn't introduce as much gain as the gain knob does, but it has a very different texture. Now, what this pedal is intended for you to kind of combine those two things to basically be able to control the texture of your distortion. So if we just bring up the gain control a bit again, maybe to right here. This being our very smooth mid-rangey sound, and now as I bring in the caliber control just a bit, it starts getting way more filthy and more aggressive. You get more biting top end, not in a negative sense, but in a very, very desirable sense, and you get some more push in the lows too, and it just overall kind of takes a slightly fuzzy characteristic that is balanced out by the smooth mid-rangey type of the other gain control, and it makes for a tone that kind of seems to be a perfect cross of both worlds, of like a more overdrive circuit, and then distortion bordering into fuzz, and kind of combines the most desirable attributes of both types of circuit into one really awesome sounding sound. Let me turn up the gain control a bit more. Now, the higher up you turn the gain control, the more the louder that swooshing noise of the caliber control gets. But it's not audible when playing. It's only while you tweak that it makes that noise. Now you can really hear it getting quite a bit fuzzy. I'll crank the caliber control, show you what that does. Our gain setting is around 330 right now. Now you can really hear some of those fuzzy characteristics kicking in. It's not overbearing. It's still more of a distortion type effect than a fuzz effect, but it does get some of those very positive qualities of a fuzz. Let me just quickly demonstrate the tone knob here on the sound we were originally at, turning it further counterclockwise. Get a bit more top end bite. Turn it clockwise. We need to compensate for some volume here. Very dark and smooth sounding. Quite the effective range on the tone knob here. And it's very interesting to mention that between the gain, the caliber, and the tone knob, you can really kind of dial in an array of different sounds. It's very interesting. The gain has that smooth mid-range overdrive distortion thing going on. Then as you bring in the caliber, it kind of gets gritty on the top end and a little more filthy on the bottom end. And then with the tone knob, you can kind of take out a bit of the very high, maybe at some point nasty sounding frequencies to smooth it out again while still getting some of the characteristics of the caliber knob. Now, for example, we could also like dial in a very warm and sweet sounding overdrive here. Can absolutely this out a bit, bring this in. It can do that too, or a bluesy lead tone. So, very versatile dirt box the guys from ThorpyFX came up here. Interesting trivia, this box is probably the most neatly packaged guitar pedal I've ever seen. They really do not want that getting banged up or dirty during transport, and it is a brick. You would be very hard pressed to try and destroy this thing. It has this cool lip coming up here on the side, so you can absolutely not mess with the knobs. I could literally stand on it and it would do absolutely nothing. Now that is impressive build quality right there, and it also looks very cool. All right, so much for this pedal. I'm gonna take it back up a bit to where I like it and play you out, and see you next time.